Stand still, my child. Cease your striving. Cease your worry. Cease your endless planning and rehearsing of what might go wrong. The battle you see rising before you is not yours to carry alone. You have exhausted your strength trying to fix what I never asked you to fight for in your own power. I see the burdens you've picked up, the enemies you've tried to silence on your own, the fears that grip you in the night when no one else can hear your silent cries. But I am the Lord your God, the God of angel armies, the commander of all creation, the one who parts seas and breaks chains and brings down giants with a stone. Did you think I would leave you now? Have you forgotten who goes before you? Have you forgotten that I have never lost a battle? The war is not over because the enemy is loud. Do not mistake noise for victory. Do not confuse delay for defeat. I am still moving, still working, still warring on your behalf. You see chaos, but I see alignment. You feel outnumbered, but I see angels stationed at your left and right. You feel surrounded, but I say, those who are with you are more than those who are against you. Lift your eyes, not to the mountain of your problem, but to the Maker of heaven and earth. I have not called you to carry the sword alone. I have not sent you into battle without backup. I have not expected you to win with human weapons. I told you in Exodus chapter 14 verse 14, the Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. And that word has not expired. That promise still stands. That covenant is still sealed. And I, the Lord, do not change. I am the same yesterday, today, and forever. I fought for Moses when the Red Sea stood like an impossible wall. I fought for David when Goliath mocked my name. I fought for Esther when death hovered over her people. And I will fight for you. But you must release the battle. Release it from your clenched fists. Release it from your overthinking. Release it from your constant need to control the outcome. Your part is obedience. My part is victory. Your call is faith. My promise is power. I know the enemies that you face. Some are visible, bills, threats, deadlines, betrayals. Others are hidden, shame, fear, insecurity, lies whispered in the dark. But none are greater than me. None outrank me. None surprise me. Let me fight for you. Let me go before you. Let me silence the voices of accusation and surround you with the shield of my presence. You are not called to war in the flesh. You are called to stand in my armor. Ephesians chapter 6 was not written for decoration. It was written for defense. Put on the helmet of salvation. Take up the sword of the Spirit, my word. Shield yourself with faith. Stand in truth. Cover your heart with righteousness. And stand, not in fear, not in panic, but in the assurance that the battle belongs to me. Do not be moved by what you see. Be anchored in what I've spoken. I said I would never leave you nor forsake you. I said no weapon formed against you shall prosper. I said you are more than a conqueror through me who loves you. Why do you doubt my ability now? Why do you allow fear to shout louder than my word? You are not walking alone into the storm. I am in the storm with you. You are not climbing the mountain alone. I am the one who gives your feet strength like the deer. You are not facing judgment alone. I have declared you redeemed, restored, and rescued by the blood of the Lamb. Let me fight for you. I have the strategy. I have the strength. I see what you cannot see. I know what lies ahead. And I am already there preparing the way. Even when it feels like nothing is changing. Know this. Heaven is not silent. And I am not still. I am working behind the scenes. I am overturning the plans of darkness. I am uprooting what the enemy planted. I am aligning provision, people, timing, and grace. You must not give up here. You must not turn back now. Let me fight for you. And while I fight, I ask you for one thing: trust. Trust me with your reputation. Trust me with your relationships. Trust me with the outcome. Because I am not just fighting for your victory, I am fighting for your heart. I am after your surrender. I am after your peace. I am after your full trust. Because when your trust is whole, your hands stop grasping for control. Your mind stops spinning in fear. Your prayers stop begging and start declaring. And your posture shifts from anxious to anchored. This is what I want for you. A heart that knows I am God. A spirit that stands even when the world shakes. A child who knows their father fights for them. Remember Jehoshaphat? The armies of Moab and Ammon surrounded him. Outnumbered, outmatched. But my prophets spoke and said, "Do not be afraid or discouraged because of this vast army. For the battle is not yours, but God's." They worshipped before they won. They praised before the breakthrough. And I caused confusion in the enemy's camp. Not a single sword was raised by Israel that day, because I fought for them. I can do it again. And I will. Let me fight for you. But you must trust me enough to stop fighting in your flesh. You must surrender your timeline. You must lay down your backup plans. I know the way through this. And I will not lead you to ruin. I will lead you to redemption. But you must listen when I say, "Be still." Stillness is not laziness. Stillness is not avoidance. Stillness is alignment. It is obedience. It is your declaration of trust in me. Let the world mock your waiting. Let others rush ahead. But you, remain. Wait on the Lord. And you will see my salvation. You will see me move in ways you didn't expect. You will see doors open that no man can shut. You will see justice roll down like a river. You will see peace that surpasses understanding guard your heart and mind. Because I am not a passive observer of your pain. I am a present redeemer. I am not a distant commander. I am a defending king. And I am not waiting for you to prove your strength. I am waiting for you to invite mine. Let me fight for you. Not just once, but again and again. Not just in the big things, but in the details. Let me fight in the courtroom. Let me fight in the diagnosis. Let me fight in the family tension. Let me fight in the silent disappointment that you carry but don't talk about. Nothing is too small for me to notice. Nothing is too broken for me to heal. Nothing is too far gone for me to restore. Your only job is to believe, to trust, to listen, and to obey my leading. Even when you don't understand it fully. Even when it feels backwards. Even when it stretches your patience. For in the stretching, I build your strength. In the stillness, I restore your soul. And in the silence, I sharpen your ears to hear me more clearly. Let me fight for you. Not just to win battles, but to win your heart back. To show you what it means to live under the shelter of my wings. To walk through the fire and come out without the smell of smoke. To sleep in the storm because you trust who's in the boat with you. I am here, and I am fighting for you. And yes, I will finish what I started. The victory I promised, I will deliver. But it will be done in my way, in my time, and by my hand. Not by might, not by power, but by my spirit. Do not be discouraged when it takes longer than you thought. Delay is not denial, and process is not punishment. I use time to reveal truth. I use waiting to build wisdom. I use pressure to purify your motives. Because when I fight for you, it is not just to fix your circumstances, it is to shape your character. To remind you that your identity is not in your performance, but in my presence. You are not what you fear. You are not what they said. You are not what you failed. You are mine, and I fight for what belongs to me. So rise, not in your strength, but in the strength of the one who never slumbers nor sleeps. Take courage, not from your plans, but from my promises. Worship, not because you feel victorious, but because you know who fights for you. And in the very center of it all, remember this: I have not brought you this far to abandon you now. My hand is steady. My will is sure. My presence is near. Let me fight for you. This is not your burden to bear. This is not your wall to climb. This is not your war to win alone. Let me fight, and you will see what I can do with a surrendered heart and a trusting spirit. Now pause here and let me speak to you personally. Listen closely. You've been exhausted because you're trying to manage both control and faith. You've prayed for my help but kept your hands on the steering wheel. You've said, "Thy will be done," but lived like it was still all up to you. That's not surrender. That's strain. And I did not create you to live in strain. I created you to live in trust. To walk with me. To abide in me. To rest in my shadow. So here is my invitation again, not a demand, not a threat, but a divine offering. Let me fight for you. Let me defend your name when it's slandered. Let me cover your weaknesses when you're weary. Let me shield your heart when others do not understand your journey. Let me carry the weight that was never yours to hold. I have seen the injustice. I have heard the threats. I know the accusations whispered behind closed doors. And I will deal with them in my way. You do not need to retaliate. You do not need to explain yourself endlessly. You do not need to be the one who sets everything right. I am your defender. I am your strong tower. I am your justice. Let me fight. And while I fight, you rest. You worship. You declare the truth even when your eyes haven't seen it yet. Because the truth is not based on your feelings, it is based on who I am. And I am your victory. I am your peace. I am the one who never fails. Let me fight for you. And my child, while you are here, hearing these words, pause and remember. You are not alone in this journey. If this message has reminded you of my faithfulness and you feel my presence drawing you near, share this with someone else who needs to hear it too. Let them be reminded that I fight for my children. And if you haven't already, be part of this movement of faith. Like, comment, share, and subscribe so that my voice continues reaching hearts around the world. Now return to stillness. Return to the place where you can hear me whisper. Because the battle is not just external. Some of the greatest wars are waged in the mind. Thoughts that torment, memories that accuse, lies that echo louder than truth. But I am coming to silence every false narrative. I am coming to break the cycle. To dismantle the strongholds. To bring you out of agreement with darkness and into alignment with my truth. For I know the thoughts I think toward you. Thoughts of peace and not of evil. To give you a future and a hope. I do not see you as a lost cause. I do not regret calling you. I am not finished with you. Let me fight for the parts of you that you've tried to hide. Let me redeem the chapters you want to skip. Let me heal the wounds you've learned to ignore. You were never meant to fight alone. I placed my spirit within you. I stationed my angels around you. I wrapped my word around your mind. Now let me do what only I can do. Win the war that you cannot. There is no enemy too strong for me. There is no bondage I cannot break. There is no curse I cannot reverse. There is no generational pattern I cannot disrupt. You think your battle is new, but I have seen it before. And I have already prepared the victory. The enemy may rage. He may intimidate. He may lie and accuse and shout at your soul. But I am not shaken. And because you are in me, you will not be shaken either. You will not collapse under the weight. You will not drown in the deep. You will not burn in the fire. Because I am the God who shuts the mouths of lions. Who walks in the furnace with you. Who speaks peace to the waves. Let me fight for you. You've tried in your own strength long enough. You've spoken every defense. You've written every plan. You've gathered every reason to hold on tight. Now gather one more thing. Faith. Not because it all makes sense, but because I said I would do it. Not because you see the answer, but because you know the one who holds it. This is the moment I'm inviting you to lay it all down. Lay down your pride. Lay down your fear. Lay down your timeline. Lay down your outcome. Let me fight, and you'll discover the strength you've been searching for all along. Not in yourself, but in me. Not in striving, but in surrender. Not in noise, but in knowing. I am here. I have not left. And I will not fail. Let me fight for you. Now rise, my child. Not to fight, but to stand. Not to strive, but to believe. Not to panic, but to praise. Praise in the hallway before the door opens. Praise in the silence before the answer comes. Praise in the tension before the breakthrough manifests. Because your praise is your weapon. Your worship confuses the enemy. Your stillness frustrates the forces of darkness. Your surrender unleashes my power in ways you cannot see. This is not passive. This is powerful. Faith is not weakness. Faith is warfare. And when you worship in the waiting, the gates of hell begin to shake. Do you not know? Your silence before me is louder than your panic before men. Your confidence in me is your armor. Your rest in my promises is your shield. I do not ask you to pretend the battle isn't real. I ask you to remember that I am more real than the battle. I am the God who shows up in the middle. I don't wait until the end. I don't wait until the dust settles. I speak in the fire. I appear in the storm. I manifest in the moments when you think I've gone silent. So listen again. And know this deep in your soul. You don't need to prove your worth in the war. You don't need to earn my intervention. You are already mine. And I am already moving. Let me fight for you. Stand firm, child. I will show you what only heaven can do. I will part what you cannot. I will break through what resists. I will make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. I am not delayed. I am deliberate. I do not rush. Because I am never late. I am not trying to impress the impatient. I am forming something eternal in you. This fight, the one you think is too big, is the very one I will use to reveal my glory through you. The onlookers will see and know. This was not by human strength. This was the hand of the Lord. And your story will not end in defeat. You will stand on the ashes of what tried to destroy you. You will dance in the places you once wept. You will proclaim deliverance in the same land where you were pressed. Because I do not just deliver, I restore. I do not just heal, I revive. I do not just rescue, I commission. And after this battle is done, you will not just survive, you will carry authority. You will carry wisdom. You will walk in discernment. Because what the enemy used to try to break you, I used to build you. Let me fight for you. Keep your hands open. Keep your ears tuned. Keep your heart soft. And when it's all said and done, you will say, surely, the Lord fought for me. Surely, He never left me. Surely, He turned what was meant for evil into good. And others will see, and they will believe. Because your battle was never just about you. It was about revealing me. Let me fight for you. I always win. When I say I will fight for you, I am not speaking symbolically. I am not whispering poetry to comfort your wounds. I am releasing strategy, fire, and authority from heaven itself. I send angels on assignment. I send peace into chaos. I send wisdom that shuts the mouths of the proud. I send my word, and it does not return void. What I decree, it stands. What I declare, it comes to pass. So receive this not as suggestion but as truth. Let me fight for you. Let me govern what has overwhelmed you. Let me take the lead again in areas you tried to control. Lay down your sword and take up my spirit. Lay down your panic and put on my praise. Lay down your exhaustion and enter into my presence. You were never meant to win without me. You were meant to partner with me. Not as a beggar, not as a servant, but as my child, my beloved, my chosen one. And I delight in defending those I love. I do not delay out of indifference. I delay because I see what you cannot. Because I value what you overlook. Because I am not just fighting for your breakthrough, I am building your foundation. So the next time the storm rises, you do not shake. You stand, rooted, bold, peaceful, powerful. Because you've learned this secret. Victory is not earned by effort. It is received by trust. Let me fight for you. I never lose. Now let me lead you into still waters. Let me remind you who you are. You are not the battle you're facing. You are not the mistake you made. You are not the label others gave you. You are mine. You are chosen. You are covered. And you are kept. Do not let your identity be shaped by the pressure of this moment. Let it be shaped by the truth of eternity. I knew you before you were formed. I called you before anyone doubted you. And I will finish what I started in you. Let me fight for you. The time is coming, and is now here, when my glory will shine through those who trust me in the fire. Those who don't need applause to obey. Those who don't need clarity to follow. Those who don't need the crowd to believe. You are one of them. You've been called for this hour. This is not your destruction. This is your preparation. This is not your ending. This is your equipping. So lift up your head. Square your shoulders. And breathe again. Not because you figured it all out, but because you finally surrendered what wasn't yours to carry. Let me fight for you. Let your silence before me be your strength. Let your humility be your weapon. Let your trust be your offering. And let your peace speak louder than any storm around you. This is how the war is won. With me, not without me. I will show you what victory really looks like. It's not always loud. It doesn't always look like lightning and thunder. Sometimes, victory looks like you choosing rest when fear tells you to run. Sometimes, it looks like choosing to pray instead of panic. Choosing to praise before you see results. Choosing to speak life when death tries to knock on your door. That is how I fight, not always with noise, but with presence, with precision, with power that confuses the wise. This is how I fight. With songs in the night. With peace in the storm. With grace that floods your weakness. You are not late. You are not forgotten. You are right where I'm meeting you. And I will lift you from the shadows. You will know again what it means to stand in my light. So don't run. Don't strive. Don't scatter in fear. Come to me. Let me fight for you. Even now, my hand is on your story. Even now, my breath is filling your lungs with hope again. Even now, my angels are surrounding your dwelling. Even now, the enemy is losing ground. Even now, what seemed impossible is bending to my will. You will testify. You will overcome. And others will be drawn to me because of how I brought you through. This is not just for your freedom, it's for the freedom of many. Let me fight for you. You don't have to understand, you just have to trust. You don't have to feel strong, you just have to surrender. You don't have to win, because I already have. Let me fight for you, and watch your fear dissolve. Watch your enemies scatter. Watch your strength return. You have no idea how many battles I've already won for you that you never even saw. Car accidents diverted. Illnesses healed. Doors shut to protect you from what you thought you wanted. Relationships removed that were draining your purpose. I have been fighting for you before you even knew you needed defending. And I will not stop now. So let go. Let me step in. Invite me fully. I will not force myself into the center, but I will come wherever I'm welcomed. Open every part of your life to me. Your finances. Your relationships. Your health. Your past. Your dreams. Let me fight for every piece. For when I redeem completely. I don't patch things, I restore. I don't do temporary, I establish foundations that last generations. Your obedience today is building legacy tomorrow. Your surrender now is securing strength for the future. Let me fight for you. It's not just about you surviving this season. It's about you stepping into who you were always meant to be. I don't just want to protect you. I want to empower you. To make you a living testimony of what heaven does when a soul is yielded. So breathe again. Let peace flood in. Let fear fall off. Let anxiety melt in the presence of my voice. Because I am here. I am your defender. And I have never lost. Even when you doubted. Even when you wandered. Even when your faith was weak. I remained faithful. My covenant was not based on your consistency. It was rooted in my character. I am the God who does not change. My promises are not suggestions. They are decrees sealed by my nature. And I have said I will fight for you. So I will. When you walk through the fire, I will be there. When you cross deep waters, they will not overwhelm you. When you face betrayal, I will uphold you. When you sit in silence, I will speak. And when you are too tired to stand, I will carry you. You were never asked to be perfect. You were asked to believe, to remain, to abide, and in your abiding, I move. Let me fight for you. I know what the next chapter holds. And it's not destruction. It's not regret. It's not shame. It's glory. It's healing. It's purpose. But you cannot write it by your own pen. You must give me the pen and trust that I know how to tell your story best. I am not editing your life for performance. I am shaping your soul for eternity. This is what love does. Love fights for the beloved. And you are mine. So breathe deep. Sleep in peace. Wake with hope. And walk in boldness. I've gone before you. And I will fight again. And when I fight, I do not fight for partial victories. I do not come for momentary relief. I come for wholeness. I come for roots to be pulled. not just fruit to be trimmed. You've been asking me to fix the surface, but I've come to transform the soil. Because your future requires deep healing. Not just comfort, not just ease, but wholeness. So if it hurts right now, trust that I'm healing. If it's quiet, trust that I'm speaking. If it's still, trust that I'm moving. You must learn the rhythm of my warfare. It looks different from the world's. The world screams and shouts and flexes. I whisper and wait and win. Let me fight for you. You won't always feel it. But faith isn't a feeling, it's a decision. Choose me again. Even if you feel numb. Even if you feel nothing. Even if you're tired of hoping. Let me reignite what's flickering. Let me rebuild what's crumbling. Let me restore what you thought you lost for good. There is more ahead, and I do not lie. Your best days are not behind you. They are held in my hands. And I hold them with tenderness and certainty. Now exhale. Let me take this from you. Let me be what you need. Even when you don't know how to ask. Let me fight for you. Even now, I am. And when I fight, I do not retreat. I do not hesitate. I do not guess. I go before you with a plan already complete. I see what's ahead. And I make provision before the need even appears. That's who I am. The God who prepares a table in the presence of your enemies. The God who fills your cup even in the valley. The God who surrounds your dwelling with fire at night. The God who opens Red Seas and breaks Jericho walls. Let me fight for you. You don't need the whole strategy, you need simple obedience. You don't need every answer, you need trust. You don't need applause, you need alignment. Because when you're aligned with me, your weakness becomes the stage for my strength. Let the weak say, I am strong, not because of pride, but because of my presence. You are not strong because you feel it. You are strong because I said so. You are strong because you're surrendered. You are strong because I dwell within you. Let me fight for you. Not just in this season, but in every one that follows. I don't just want to be your emergency contact. I want to be your daily companion. I want to fight in your mind, in your emotions, in your generational patterns. I want to rewrite the legacy you thought was written in pain. I want to redeem what was passed down in shame, and replace it with honor, purpose, and healing. Let me fight for you. This war is already mine, and I never lose. And when I bring the victory, it will be undeniable. Not just to you, but to those around you. They will see, they will witness, they will say, the Lord has done great things for them. Because I don't just fight to bring relief. I fight to bring glory. To show that I am still the God who parts seas and heals hearts. Who restores what was stolen. Who breathes on dead things and calls them alive again. Let me fight for you. Not because you're perfect, but because you're mine. Not because you earned it, but because I'm good. Not because the timing looks right, but because I do not miss. Let every delay become a testimony. Let every closed door become protection. Let every detour lead to deeper intimacy. I am using all of it, yes, all of it, for your good. You cannot see it now. But one day, you'll thank me for what I didn't give you. For what I withheld. For how I fought even when you didn't know there was a battle. Let me fight for you. This is not just about what you get at the end. This is about who you become in the middle. And I am shaping you into someone who walks in quiet power. Peace that doesn't make sense. Strength that isn't from this world. Let the world watch. Let them wonder. Because I'm not finished yet. And your story is about to shine with heaven's fingerprints. Let me fight for you, because your future depends on it. And I will fight, because my name is on the line. My reputation is wrapped in your redemption. I do not abandon what I've claimed. I do not forsake what I've anointed. I do not walk away from the work of my hands. So rise. And rest. Move when I say move. Wait when I say wait. Trust me when I say it's not over. Because it's not. I am not the author of confusion. I am the finisher of faith. And I finish what I start. Let me fight for you. I see the tears you never told anyone about. The battles you hide behind smiles. The shame you carry like a second skin. Give it all to me. Not just the crisis, but the quiet ache. Not just the fear, but the fatigue. I will trade your ashes for beauty, your mourning for joy, your despair for praise. This is not hype. This is holy. Let me fight for you, and you will walk in freedom. Not temporary relief, but lasting change. Not counterfeit comfort, but true peace. Not survival mode, but divine strength. The kind that builds nations. The kind that raises the dead. The kind that changes legacies. Let me fight for you. Your story will not end in despair. It will rise with purpose, with power, with my name written all over it. And when people ask how you made it, you'll say, "The Lord fought for me." And that will be more than enough. Let me fight for you, because this is more than a moment. This is a mantle. You are being equipped not just to overcome, but to lead, to speak, to carry the fire of those who've been refined, to lay hands on the hurting and say, "I know the one who heals," to walk into rooms and shift atmospheres with your peace, to speak a word in season and awaken dry bones. Because those who've been fought for by God carry a different weight. Not pride, not performance, but presence. They've been broken and rebuilt. They've wept and worshipped. They've let go and leaned in. And now they shine, not with polish, but with power. That's who you are becoming. That's what I'm doing in you. So let me fight. Let me win. And then, walk with me into the new. Not afraid, not bitter, not exhausted, but radiant, restored, ready. This is not the end. This is the beginning of everything I promised. I love you. I'm with you. And I will fight, until you stand in the fullness of what I declared. Let me fight for you. Now and always. And when it is done, you will know it was not by might, nor by power, but by my Spirit. You will lift your eyes and see how every scar was a sign of survival. How every delay was a divine detour. How every prayer, even whispered through tears, reached me. And you will say not just with words, but with your life, "My God fought for me." And I will smile, because I always did.